What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the No Cap Space. Today's post-game show is brought to you by Tyler and Shawnee, holding it down for you here today. What a day! What a day, Shawnee. How you feeling? It's a little late. We're in the Pac-12 spirit today.
I was gonna say it's a good thing we run the night.
This is what we do. The playbacks during conference play have built us for this.
See, and this is what I keep saying. This is why I believe in the Pac-12, because it's preparing everybody for this time of year. If we hadn't stayed up for Pac-12 after dark, what game was that? We were up to like almost 2 a.m. on playback, watching the game.
Yeah,
Pac-12 game, and now here we are.
One of the overtime ones. Yeah, I forget.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It was because there was like 2 or 3 of them that went down throughout.
Yeah. But look at it. We got the reps in. We're here.
We battle.
So shout out to the Pac-12 for preparing everybody. Preparing everybody.
The same way that they prepared their teams for the tournament, they prepared us for the tournament. We're battle tested. We got the scars to prove it. Well, speaking of Pac-12 teams, let's dive right into the game that just finished up. USC defeats Kansas 73-55, and folks, I have been eyeing this freshman matchup of Samaya Nichols versus JuJu Watkins literally since the bracket came out. I was going into this season, I had so much belief in Kansas. I honestly thought Kansas could do what Kansas State ended up doing. And obviously they didn't really go that way this season, but they always had the talent for it. And a big part of that was Samaya Nichols, and they were going bucket for bucket, y'all. Like they were going bucket for bucket. Samaya Nichols stat line, 22 points. 7 to 19 shooting. So not the most efficient, but not terrible by any means. And then JuJu, JuJu, 28 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 9 to 21 shooting. Again, not the most efficient, but
how many fouls did she end up with?
4. She be playing with fire with them fouls.
Bro, because like first quarter she had 2, and I was like, what is going on? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then Lindsay left her out there, and I was like, it's a double-digit game. Like,
it makes me nervous.
And they were saying that, like, Lindsay got she trusts JuJu and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, I don't. Like, no, sit down, please. Have a seat. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you on that. But I'll tell you right now, one thing that makes it easier to sit JuJu Watkins is Mackenzie Forbes cooking the way that she's cooking right now. Because, oh my goodness, I mean, really, the entirety of postseason play since the Pac-12 tournament, especially that Pac-12 championship game where she won most outstanding player. I mean, she ends the night with 20 points. She really kind of held it down early on in this game for USC, and then JuJu kind of picked it up more so in the second half.
I think she had 6 threes?
Something like, it was 6 to 13 from 3. I think, like I said, she cooled off more in the second half, but that's when JuJu really turned it on, and USC was able to pull away a little bit in this one. But man, when I tell you, I don't think you can really overstate the importance of having another go-to player like the way that Mackenzie Forbes is playing right now for this USC team. Because obviously we know what JuJu is capable of doing. But now we also know, and this is something that we talked about like in the preview for the brackets and everything like that, that the Pac-12 championship game proved that if JuJu has a bad night, the rest of this team knows how to handle itself. And that's not something that was there early on in this season. Like when we saw, and when I was there at the Pac-12 tournament, we heard Lindsay talking about it, where this is a team of hoopers that are playing in certain roles. And I think that they get chances now where I think those roles have kind of expanded a little bit in a good way, where it's not, crashing down on what JuJu's doing, but it's more so growing what that kind of looks like for this team as a whole in their success. So, I mean, Mackenzie Forbes, if she keeps playing like this, and I was impressed with, I thought Marshall had a quiet game box score wise, but like I was enjoying what I was seeing from her as well. She only had 9 points and 4 rebounds, which is not like she's pretty much a double machine. Like you're kind of just anticipating a double from her. But I mean,
I like Padilla. She just shooting and vibing. Like, you gonna leave me open? True. I'm so with JuJu's doing the majority of the work, leaving me open. All right, cool.
Yep. She was 3 of 6, all threes today, and that's exactly. But that's exactly what her job
she's supposed to do. Yeah.
Like I'm gonna sit here, and I know it's coming, and I'm gonna be ready when it gets here.
And that's also very important as this tournament progresses, because like we've been saying, they figure it out. So if JuJu's not having a good game, even if JuJu is having a good game, late game situations, who they want to go to, JuJu. Absolutely. So it's like having that confidence, one, to draw up a play from a coaching standpoint, to drop a play for somebody else, or two, for like JuJu to make a play and make a pass and not feel like she has to do it all on her own. Like, I think that's huge. So everybody, like you said, has those expanded roles, and they seem to be like filling them out quite nicely. So that's very encouraging, especially for my bracket, since I have USC versus USC. Yeah. Sorry, Kansas, but I needed y'all to relax.
Yeah. I mean, damn Kansas. They gave a fight though.
They did. Like, shout out to them.
The final score looks way worse than the game actually was. Like it's one of those games where they just kind of pulled away at the end.
Like the very end. Like it was like second half of the fourth quarter end.
Yeah. But I also want to shout out Tiana Jackson had 10 points and 18 rebounds for Kansas. And she's a player that I feel like if a team swings on her in like the second round of the WNBA draft, could be like a genuine, like very solid contributor in the W. Just, I mean, the size and the energy that she provides, like that she gives like perfect, like off the bench vibes, like just for a team.
Because she puts up numbers like that all year.
Oh yeah, that's normal. Like this isn't like I think she's personally been underrated. And like I said, coming into this season, what we saw with Kansas State and how they kind of meshed everything together with Ayoka Lee coming back, the Kansas team won the WNIT last season, and I kind of thought that they would kind of see that similar level of jump, and kind of go bar for bar with Kansas State in that level. We didn't really see that, but it's not for a lack of talent. That's why that happened. Like the talent is there, and Jackson is one of those talents that really stood out this season. So she's someone that I'm kind of eyeing as a sleeper pick if she ends up going to the draft and everything. That's just someone I'm kind of keeping my eye on for where she lands. But let's dive into this larger slate at hand, and kind of get into it. Let's start off. We'll just kind of go in order here.
While you guys were at work, there was basketball being played.
There were basketball. I was definitely working. I promise. Let's start off Notre Dame Ole Miss. This game, Notre Dame, I don't want to say they keep getting away with it, because I don't think they're necessarily getting away with anything. It's just like, how do y'all keep doing this with all of the injuries that you have? Like, it's incredible what they just.
I think that might just be their default. Like, I don't want to say they be sacrificing people, but like ever since they won a championship with no ACLs, like it just seems like anything is possible for them.
Like they have to like prove that they could do more than what they did that year. Like,
hold up, this is a little too easy.
But I mean, man, this team held it down, and they've continued to hold it down this entire year.
I know, like Columbia's coach, I would let off a tweet. What's her name? Griffith.
Yeah.
I wasn't wrong. I was just early. Why is all these SEC teams in here? Because look what happened, man. Oklahoma lost too. Hey, SEC.
We're SEC yet. Hold on.
All I'm saying,
hold on.
Y'all getting the tail into this.
Hold on.
Because we're getting very, very thin on SEC teams. So, she didn't get it done against her SEC matchup, but hey, man.
Point stands. But I'm, like I said, I just continue to be impressed with the ability for Notre Dame. And I mean, especially like the back half of conference play on, pretty much like the run that they went on, really more so the end of conference play, and then into the tournament. They win the ACC tournament, and they've just continued to win. Like they just kind of keep finding ways. And what's kind of impressive is that it's obviously Hidalgo is the one that gets the name recognition at this point, but like Maddie Westbell gets 20, Sonia Citron gets 17. Like, this is not just Hannah Hidalgo here that's doing this. Like, it's still a team effort while the team continues to lose pieces, and
that's gonna be huge. Like, that's we've said crazy. Because in the same vein we talk about how USC needs to be able to play well with or without JuJu. Like, Notre Dame can't be as reliant on Hannah, if they want to move on. Like, there has to be a little bit of balance where she can still be, the tip of the spear, but let's get some force from other people. So that was really encouraging to see.
Yeah. I mean, this is just a testament to what Niele Ivey has been able to do with this team, how she has just picked up the baton and kept it going. Like I said, I'm excited. Obviously, they still got plenty more to play for. That Oregon State matchup is going to be interesting.
And we will be watching.
Yeah, I will be there no matter what. You mentioned Spear, Tennessee.
Nice.
Okay, you see that? Hold on.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
Man, Shawnee, I want to let you get your point off first because I feel like we're definitely going to touch on what Rickea Jackson did today because she was absolutely incredible. But I want to let you get your point off first because I feel like this is kind of the overarching theme for Tennessee this season and why the record looks the way it does. I'm kind of let you take the floor here with this one.
Because, like, truthfully, late game situations, Kelly Harper has not been bad. Like, she's been putting her team in some good spots and, you know, they're making some things shake. I just think we need to incorporate one more key aspect and maybe not get down 20 to begin with. Like if we could start from like a more level playing field instead of a giant hole, then maybe the late game, you know, clipboard scribbles will get you to where they need to be because I'm just like, bro, why are y'all not making any adjustments in the first half to don't let it get to this point? Because now things are, you know, you're flustered. People are doing things that they may not be equipped to do because we need points. We need this, that, the third. And it's like, she's still putting them in good positions and they're still making things happen. But I just feel like if you take that pressure off of you and just let people play their game and let the game come to them because they're not playing out of this huge hole, things might look a little different. So they're going to have to figure that out because ain't going to be no Rickea next year.
Yeah, that's immediately what my mind just went to when you were talking about that was now they got to figure it out without a Rickea Jackson level talent. And this is a Rickea Jackson level talent that put up 33 points, 10 rebounds on 13 of 22 shooting today. And 2 or 3 from 3. Like this is like these past 2 games, like it wasn't a long or deep March Madness run for Rickea Jackson and this Tennessee team, but Rickea got all her stuff off. Like I felt like we saw literally every kind of piece of her bag over the course of these 2 games. She's been shooting threes, she's been catching lobs, she's been bringing the ball up, she's been posting up. Like I when you think about just complete players going into this draft, like I saw some people saying that they would take her 1. I saw people saying they'd take her 2. I don't know if I'm gonna go that far off.
I don't know,
for
man.
Varying reasons, but when
I will say, like, Cam Brink don't do nothing but eat hot chip and foul. So maybe there's I still wouldn't do it whole body of work. I'm still staying at that 3rd spot with her, but like I could see the draft stock.
I see how it can
wavering
become
a little bit.
A conversation. Like,
yeah,
if you were to look at these 2 games and compare Brink's body of work versus Rickea's body of work, I'd understand why you would be thinking this. Like, it ain't like, because I mean, what Rickea did, and when they talk about, I feel like a player, and honestly, I feel like pretty much everyone in like the top 5 can come in and make an immediate impact in the W in varying levels. And Rickea is absolutely one of those players that is going to come in and is immediately a pro-ready player that is ready to go out there and
on both sides.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah.
So I know she just feels like one of those players. Like I don't, not that it doesn't matter where she ends up, but like she gonna figure it out. Like,
it's like the W getting a spot is about fit, and it's like she's gonna be good no matter what.
Exactly. Yeah, and
you figure it out.
Yeah. I don't worry about Rickea at all. Like she is a player that. Like if Rickea Jackson ended up being the best player in this draft class, I wouldn't be like shocked by any means. Like if it worked out that way, I wouldn't be shocked. And that's a testament both to her and how incredible this class is. But yeah, I was incredibly impressed with her. And obviously NC State, I mean, they won the game. And I mean, just another
Sanaya Rivers.
Yes, Sanaya Rivers, Isaiah James, like these are players that they're doing their thing. What's more in this Sweet 16?
Getting away with it.
With it.
He's kind of gone away from the bowl cut. I will say that. Like his haircut is more like, I don't know, modern. He modernized the bowl cut, or he's
bowl cut.
Or it's not like as like defined. Like you can't tell where the bowl stopped. I don't know. He did something.
Okay, now that's what I'm gonna be watching for. That's This is what we're watching for. The next game. Oklahoma played a basketball game today.
Yeah.
And it didn't go the Sooners' way.
No.
It sure didn't. I mean, I have my fan hat and I have my unbiased journalist hat.
Take them both off and let's move to the next game. They already screwed me over. I had them winning. That was like my little like cutesy. Oh yeah, Boomer Sooner, let's do it. And then they lost.
Well, sorry.
I got the Oklahoma fan experience in like one day. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, well, sorry. We'll see you in the SEC, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
But Mackenzie Holmes did do her thing. 29 points in that game. I mean, she was solid. Oklahoma's bench production was actually really, really good today. But ultimately wasn't enough. And now we get Indiana versus South Carolina in the next round.
That's going to be
a matchup that exists.
Yeah, I was going to. Like, respectfully, I'm not at all excited about that, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been Oklahoma, but alas, here we are.
I wouldn't have been excited about that either.
That would have at least we would have had our banter with it, you know, like there would have been more jokes to get off at minimum.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's more so what I mean by that, not the. Anyways, next game. From 2 Reds to 2 Blues. UCLA and Creighton. UCLA, hold on, man. It got a little spooky. In that first half, the others around Lauren Betts were frankly non-existent pretty much. Like I mean, there was it wasn't looking very, very good. Like I thought Hawkins was pretty solid in the first half along with Betts, and that was about it. And then Kiki Rice came in the second half and turned it up.
But it's like Creighton, you know, Creighton be like, ask about me. Ask Caitlin about me, dog. Like,
they're one of those teams. I don't want to ever Creighton, Drake, the Dakotas.
Yes. No, we have that on our list. So if you see those in your matchup, don't go full Mark Kellogg.
Yeah, don't. But yeah, though this game it got spooky for UCLA in this one, but ultimately they pull it out. Like I said, I mean, the others kind of stepped up. I'm frankly you're gonna need more from Charisma Osborne. I mean, 5 points, 2 of 8, only 4 assists. I the round by round. I mean, hell, even this next round, I don't think you get away with that against LSU. Like I
have them beating LSU based off of Pac-12 bias, but like it's making me a little nervous.
You being Pac-12 bias is hilarious, but
look at where we are. How did we get here?
It's been a hell of a ride.
Who would have thought? Not me.
But I'm like I said, Kiki was incredible. Like I've been someone that has I've been open about how I want to see more like this. The second half Kiki. That's what I want, and that's what I know she can do. And I just
honestly, then we might see that though. Like LSU might bring that out from the. LSU has a very like trolling style of play.
Somebody that would respond to the smoke.
Yeah,
and that's what makes this matchup so exciting to me. But Kiki's probably like my key player or player to watch in that matchup because of how she can respond. Like I said, if this is the Kiki showing up, I'm with it. I'm right behind Kiki. But like,
it's just about like staying in control and not trying to play that tit for tat, you know, too small, you know, like.
yeah, just like that.
All right, man.
Just like that, yeah. But man, speaking of guards that did their thing, Paige Bueckers. Oh my God. Listen, man, she's coming. She's coming for it all. Like I had talked about early in the season, or maybe not early in the season, maybe like halfway through the season into conference play, that I had kind of started feeling like Paige was getting underrated in the grand scheme of things. And when I tell you she is coming with all the smoke for everybody in this tournament, she was acting different. She heard the noise. 32 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and she's playing the 4 in their offense a lot of the time. They were in a 2-3 zone, and she's operating in the free throw line extended area and just destroying the 2-3 zone that Syracuse was deploying. And man, this version of Paige, and Gino said it after the game, he said that this is the best player in the nation. This version of Paige. And I'm not saying that I'm saying that, but I'm not saying that I'm not saying that.
Listen, that block in the first half, that's when I was like, wait a minute now. Paige acting different right about now. And we're seeing, like, this is the Paige that Gino has been asking for, though. Like, when he was saying, like, you need to have your fingerprints on the game from the jump. You need to be aggressive, and, you know, they need her to, like, set the tone and not, like, let the game come to her. This is what we're seeing, and it's a scary, scary sight. So I see why he kept pushing for that and kept, you know, prodding to get that out her, because that block, man, I'm sorry, it just, because it was on a big too.
Oh yeah, and what's crazy is that this has been like a development over this season. Her defense has skyrocketed, and a lot of it has been blocks, like the one that we saw today. Like it's genuinely, like, I mean, it's getting hard to not put her in those level of conversation, like back it, I guess, kind of more so back into those conversations.
Yeah, I was gonna say she back, man.
Yeah,
she saw that girl up the block, got her own personal report, said, all right, everybody else gonna be talking about me. That's fine. Do you? And
listen, we gonna if she keeps playing like this, we gonna have plenty to say. Because
not me. I'm like, let's not get that far.
I was on FaceTime with her before, and she said, "Okay, I need you to bring up that Gino said this after the game." That she said, I'm too tired, but I need you to press this agenda. And in the video, Gino doing like this, I was like, "Oh yeah, I got you, Greg. I got you, Greg. Don't even worry about it." Paige Bueckers is one of the best players in the nation. Okay, and man, did she play like it today? This, like, as depleted as this UConn team is, as all the factors that are going against this UConn team right now, if this is the Paige Bueckers that's showing up, man.
Yeah, and it's infectious, though. You can see the team has that, like, fire, because they have been through hell and back, and now they're here with an opportunity to, you know, stand their ground and again, reintroduce the world to who they are and how they get down. So, I'm happy for them to be able to have this moment. I have agendas against Luigi, you know what I mean? So I can't get, like, too hyped, but I am happy to see, like, they showing out. Yeah. They getting the show out.
Yeah. And to your point of it being infectious, I think that's a great point, because they also played 6 players today. Like, that's all they're working with right now, because Nikki Mule fouls out, and she was playing pretty damn solid defense on the Age of Fair when she was in the game, and then obviously fouls out, and they have to kind of pivot from that. But, like, just kind of looking at the stats just kind of across the board, 11 and 11 for Edwards. You get 19 from Ashlyn Shade, who has been amazing so far in this tournament.
She's having a Cinderella run on her own.
Yes. Like, KK Arnold has the big 3 late in the game. She finishes with
that was such a gutsy shot.
I'm saying. And, like, these are the freshmen showing out. Surprise, surprise with this class. But, like, this, I mean, because now you look ahead, they play Duke next. That's a winnable game.
And then, for sure.
And then, presumably, you're getting JuJu versus Paige for a chance to go to the Final Four. And, man, means something to me, man. That's going to mean something to me, man. It's like the Rock and Steve Austin, the meme with them facing off. Yeah, that's going to mean something to me, man. But I'm excited for where this game takes us. Obviously, flowers to Fair as well. She's an absolute bucket. Some of the shots she was making were incredible. I thought some of the shots she was taking were a little questionable at times. I think she was trying to do a whole lot in one possession, and the 3 was kind of rough. But I know
that's man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because, like, it's like she has one speed. You know, because when Nika fouls out, that's your chance to, like, take your time and really pick this defense apart. Like, you got a freshman on you. You know what I'm saying? That's your time to go to work. And she wasn't as methodical as I would have liked from somebody her age, for quite frankly. And it got kind of nasty, because her teammates seemed calm. They were ready. They were doing their thing. You know, when they got the ball, they was ready to shoot. They was rebounding, what have you. But it's like she had a couple key turnovers on her own that it was like, if you you got down the court first, and now you have nowhere to go. Whereas if you just, slow it up and let people get up the court and set some things up, like, I don't think we're having this many empty possessions. And that's really what it came down to. Like, she started rushing, but like those circus shots, man, that one, she should have got continuation on.
Oh yeah, like the behind the, like in the middle of the lane, like, come on now.
Yes, they should have gave it that one. I don't care what the rule was. I don't care when the whistle blew.
No, but like I really actually thought that it was continuation. Like, not even on like rule of cool type beat. Like, I really actually thought that
it was like a gather. You know what I'm saying? So they called it on the before the gather, and I get it, but like continuation, give it that one.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Speaking of fouls. This is the transition.
You're going to the hot place. You're going to the hot place. Like,
I'm sorry. It was there. Iowa survives the upset bid from being packed up and sent packing.
Because, like, Mark Kellogg, this team fought harder than I would have anticipated based on his speech.
Yeah.
So maybe that's like, this team is so amped up that he has to speak in ASMR
because the pregame
to like bring them to where they
also wasn't very electric. I ain't gonna hold you, but like, I mean, and this is a team that if you've been watching throughout, like it for me, when I saw this bracket for Iowa, there are better teams that they are going to play. Yes, like the potential of playing in LSU, the potential of playing UCLA. Those are better teams than West Virginia. But I don't know, genuinely, across the country, if there's a better team that can match the strengths of Iowa than West Virginia, in the sense of the way that they play perimeter defense, the way that they have the types of guards that they have playing defense, and the way that they're both being able to, I think they're both smart and know how to, when to get up in your system a little bit. And they did that a lot tonight.
From the opening tip, which
is what West Virginia does. And like I said, there's teams that can expose Iowa for their weaknesses, but I don't know if there's a better team that can match up with Iowa's strengths than West Virginia, which was made this one so interesting to me, kind of going into it. And I think it kind of played out in that way where ultimately West Virginia, it kind of backfired. It was kind of a double-edged sword because I do think that there were some fouls that were not great calls, but like a lot of it had to do with the style of play of West Virginia.
But like, truthfully, it was like 150 fouls in this game. So whatever got called was a very low percentage of what actually was committed. They were letting them play because I'm telling you, Quinterly and what's her name? Willoughby, I think it is. Number 4, I believe. They were closer to Caitlin than Holly Rowe was. And like all game. And like Caitlin doesn't like, that's been one of the things, like having to play physical games and like, like with Steph Curry, they be trying to bump them off their spot and like not let them get comfortable when they bring the ball up. But like they was pressing up, they was in her grill, like they was doing their thing and the refs were letting them, because it was a couple, like Stokey was down there. I had tweeted that. I said, boy, she at war with no armor. Like she is just battling and they weren't calling anything. And I'm fine with it. I thought it was an incredibly physical game. And I like to see, like, Caitlin kind of had to come out of some stuff. You know what I mean? Like she looked a bit rattled playing this physical.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's one of those games, like, how we talk about USC, overcoming what happens if JuJu has a bad game. What happens if they're letting y'all play? What are you going to do? Yep. Nobody believes in you. What are you going to do about it?
And you mentioned being rattled there with Caitlin. And I kind of do want to touch on the point. I know we were kind of talking about it, but like, there's a lot of pressure here for Caitlin. And I don't know if that's been like properly acknowledged of the level of pressure that has been put on Caitlin Clark for this tournament. Not only obviously for her own team's success, obviously being a senior, and this is your last run, the pressure that already comes from that, but the added pressure of just the amount of eyes that are on Caitlin. And it's kind of an interesting thing to kind of watch play out and see how she handles that. And it feels like, and you tweeted it, also I'll kind of let you explain, kind of expand on it, but it feels like recently, like you see the cuts to her dad, which are admittedly hilarious to me. I'm sorry. I think they're so funny. But it feels like the emotions are kind of piling up a little bit more in recent times, and the body language has shifted a little bit. I saw your tweet about it, so I'll kind of let you take it from there on that.
And it's more so like a situational thing and what comes with the territory, because before she could just coast and do her thing, and we were calling her underrated, and we were trying to speak her name, and you had to go to the Iowa page to find clips about her. Now you got Holly Rowe with a GoPro up in her face, seeing what she's eating for breakfast, and every single move is now to the point where that tweet, the commentator for the Celtics game was commenting on Jason Tatum and was like, oh, he's whining more than Caitlin Clark or something like that. And I'm just like, yo.
On a random Celtics Atlanta Hawks game.
Yo, you catching strays at NBA games. And it's just like, when we talk about that comes with the territory, people are going to love you, people are going to hate you. And then unfortunately in this situation, you have racists that like you. So people are going to hate you because they don't want to see the people cheering for you happy. So that's where it's kind of coming from. You have unsavory fans. So now we can actively hate against you and, feel good about it. And I think she's carrying she's taking all the blows for that. And I hope she has, solid people around her, because she's still a college kid and she's been propped into a situation where now there are expectations. Last year, we weren't expecting that.
Yep.
Year before, Creighton upsets them, but it's not as big a deal because she wasn't in the spotlight in that manner. Yeah. So now you have everybody watching your every move, meticulously, trying to analyze everything, and they're actively rooting against you. It's going to get interesting in these next rounds when they don't have the home crowd with them. So, this going to show her something.
Yeah. No, we're about to find out a whole lot about exactly what both Caitlin, the amount that she can kind of take within that, and also just kind of this Iowa team as a whole. And because
Lisa Blunder's not saying enough for me. I don't know. That kind of goes back to what we talk about, when you be careful who you're letting your kid play for. I don't know. I don't know what she could do. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of why is Holly Rowe following her around? Just say no. All of the fanfare and stuff, you want your player to get their flowers because that looks good for her and it looks good for the school. But at a certain point, you got a target on your back now and you're allowing it to happen. So that's where I'm kind of Lisa Blunder should have put her foot down. And, and it's kind of telling to me that we keep cutting to Caitlin's dad and not Lisa Bluder. So I don't know what Big Ten protocol is, but they need to find out something real quick because it could get nasty, and I don't want to see it go down like that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. I'm intrigued to see the crowds in Albany are gonna be very interesting to see just across the board, all the different fan bases that are in there. It feels like every fan base that. I think you're just missing UConn when it comes to the fan bases that be beefing the most on Twitter. So that's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be Buffalo Bills fans, except they're gonna be throwing each other in tables.
But tailgates are just fights.
Bar fights to be specific.
Oh God, stop. In other news around women's basketball, Gonzaga officially moves on.
Oh my God, Utah!
77-66. Peely dropped 35 and 7 on 12 of 20. Our dog Peely, we got so much love for Alyssa Peely here in the NoCat space, and I can't wait to see what she does in the W. But man, I wish that we could. I love Peely's game so incredibly much. I mean, obviously they had the injuries kind of early on in the season that it was kind of Peely or bust. But even tonight, you put up 35, man. What
did Jenna Johnson do?
She put up 5.
Jenna!
The Jenna Johnson redemption arc.
This was supposed to be her year.
It was.
This was supposed to be her year because it was her missed free throws that ruined everything. She altered the course of history, and I don't think she understands that.
The timeline changed.
She's basketball Thanos. A lot of us just we didn't survive the snap. And she had a chance to course correct and make something happen. And I'm so disappointed.
But yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see where Alyssa Peely goes. That is definitely like one of, I mentioned Tiana Jackson earlier. Peely is she might be my favorite. She's probably just in like favorites to watch in college basketball right now. She's at least top 5, if not higher for me. So I gonna be very excited to see where she ends up and what role that kind of looks like. But I mean, yeah, that about covers the day. I feel like we hit.
Shout out to Gonzaga. How many did Ejim have?
She had 17 and 13.
Okay, yeah, that's who y'all need to look. Yvonne Ejim.
That's the one.
Like she's
one of the ones. She one of the ones. And
so I mean, that's the good news. We get to see her on the next round because we haven't got to see a lot of Gonzaga on national like none of Gonzaga.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. And they did it as a team too. Like, had 17, 13, 9, 14, 21. Like,
that makes sense.
I mean, Gonzaga's. It's obviously they're 4C for a reason. This ain't no scrub team by any means. We're just
Gonzaga's like a Pac-12 light, like a diet Pac-12 team.
Diet Pac-12 is. I mean, yeah, they'd be like next in line if the Pac-12 wasn't fading away,
right?
You know, like they'd be first up. I feel like,
and they probably had a bid like, oh god, dang it,
they
really?
Just got
we finally got the money.
It's like they had just like wrote down, they just got like the thing posted, like, all right, we're about to send it in, and then boom, Pac-12 gone, like just like the tweet dropped as they dropped it in the mailbox.
That sucks.
Pain. But shout out to Peely. We love Peely in no cap space. One of our favorites. But yeah, any close? Are you feeling good? We ready for we get a couple days of no basketball? Which
let it marinate, let it simmer. Y'all make sure to go look at old content if you start getting a little antsy, need some content. Yeah, go peruse our YouTube, our Substack. Follow us on Twitter. We might be tweeting about stuff.
Hold on.
Yeah. I'm on your block. I'm taking over.
All right, go ahead. If you want to do it so bad, go ahead. Let's hear it.
I already did it. So subscribe, hit the buttons so you never miss a thing, and join us next time. We'll be back because it's only gonna get better. We're reaching the end.
There you go. We're almost in the end game. So we'll be here. We hope you guys join us here in the No Cap Space, and we'll see y'all soon.